Welcome to Panther TV's Fall Edition. This show will thrill you and make you give thanks for the gifts you have. The show will give you chills of excitement as it unfolds. We dug up the correct segment about our school's public art program. Making mistakes is proof that you are trying. Then we will have the count, who will introduce number 11, Robert Nystrom. Robert Nystrom is a true musician and a rock and roller that graduated from Holliston High last year in 2025. Robert was called number 11 by some because his talents and energy are off the charts. He's part of our senior/alumni showcase where we present interviews from the previous year's seniors just before they graduated. Robert graduated and has gone on to do some great stuff. We miss his energy and zest for life. Before the count introduces Robert, we will have Tommy Monteith, another Holliston alumni from 2025. Just before he graduated, Tommy took on the question, what is public art? And how is public art important here at Holliston High? Tommy will interview two knowledgeable students on the subject. Take it away, Tommy.
What is public art? Public art is created for the enjoyment of the public. It is displayed in a public space and goes through a public process. Graffiti is not public art. Graffiti is vandalism. It is writing or drawing on walls without permission. It is a crime most of the time. Graffiti can become public art through a process within the community. Holliston High School has a great public art program. The first mural was painted in 1998. When the school was remodeled, the painters just painted over the original mural. There were lots of unhappy students and staff. After the first mural was destroyed, the public art program was restarted. They painted the lockers. They were painted black and white with beautiful imagery. It changed the hallways from a dark place to a vibrant space. And that was just the beginning. We are now going to interview Lily Lewis, a student here at Holliston High School, about murals. Hi, this is Tommy Monteith with Panther TV. I'm here with Lily Lewis today to talk about the mural.
And Ainsley Doniger will be joining.
How does having all this public artwork make you feel while you are in school?
All this public artwork creates a creative mind and positive vibes and mostly just brings happiness to people.
Do you think having the artwork in the hallways contributes to a positive school environment?
I think so. I think it does because all the color it can make people's days brighter. There's a lot of positive quotes around the school. There's a lot of personal work, like there's lockers painted from the classes of 2024 and 2025 with where they're going to college. So it's good memories, good to think of people that have moved on already.
And even just like taking a break and looking at all the artwork during the day is nice.
How does a mural get approved?
So it really depends. If you wanted to do a ceiling tile mural, that just depends on the teacher and whether they say yes or not. But if you wanted to do it in the hallway or on a locker, you need to first go ask Mr. Lack to make sure that he'll give you the supplies to do it. And then you need to go to the office and talk to Mr. List about whether it's okay or not.
How does the location get selected?
It's really based off wherever you would like it, and then you just need to get it approved by faculty.
Do you have a favorite mural?
I would say yes, probably the one we did. It did take a lot of time, but it definitely was worth it in the end. It's very pretty, it's very girly.
And you can say where you did it?
We did it in the girls' bathroom.
Yes, that's my favorite too.
Yeah, that's kind of a funny place for a mural, but that's okay. How did you come up with your idea?
Well, actually, Mr. List had brought this idea to us because of all the vandalism that was being taken place in the bathroom, and he wanted something positive to cover all of it up, so that's exactly what we did.
What do you think will happen when all of the halls are filled with murals?
Honestly, I think people might just paint over the old ones and make new ones.
What do you think will happen first? Will we run out of room for new murals, or they build a new school?
Well, my honest answer is we'll run out of murals, but I hope that they build a new school before that. But I hope that they take pictures of everything and keep it all together in memories of what everyone has done here.
Thank you, Lily Lewis.
And Ainsley. Thank you.
For speaking with us today. Good luck on your future plans.
Thank you, Tommy.
Thank you, Tommy.
That segment was wonderful and informative. Thank you, Ashley and Lily. It does make you wonder about graffiti. Is it art? Does graffiti serve a purpose? That is a question for another segment. The artwork in the halls looked inspirational and looked like a lot of fun to design and paint. This year, there are 2 currently underway. Other departments have been publicly showcasing their knowledge. The math department adorns their halls with equations, solutions, and complex problems. The English department has painted some lockers in their wing of the building to look like the binders of the books that the students will read. Art is everywhere. Creating art helps create a beautiful mind. Music is also art, and now we will go to our interview with Robert Nystrom, as known as Number 11.
It's not 10. Let's keep going.
Today we have graduating senior Robert here for an interview. Thank you for coming, Robert.
Thank you very much for having me.
How does it feel to be graduating from Holliston High School after 12 years?
It's pretty crazy. It's weird, having all these people in your life for all this time and now all going separate ways, but it's cool. I'm excited for what's to come.
Mm-hmm. Because it was a part of your school tenure, how did COVID affect you and your classmates?
It affected me differently than a lot of my other classmates. I actually did online school for 8th grade because that's when it was definitely the most prominent for me. It was weird, definitely getting back into the swing of things, I would say, afterwards. But, kind of just followed what everyone else did, the regular protocol, and thankfully everybody is still alive that I know and everything's good. So, yeah, not too crazy.
Obviously, you have many talents, having graduated from Holliston High. However, we would like to speak with you about music and your musical talents. The word is when you were born, everything became a drumstick. You just wanted to bang on a drum all day. Is this true? Has music always been with you?
Thank you, first of all. That's a good question. So my family are all musicians. So when I was younger, I lived in Venice, California, Los Angeles, and my dad's a film composer, so he writes music for movies. And so we always had music all over my house, instruments, since I was like, I learned how to probably play a G chord before I knew how to say like my dad's name or something like that. And so, yeah, it's kind of always been around me. I didn't really get into percussion, like playing drums, until I was around 4 years old. But I started composing around 2.5, 3. Not anything good, but I tried, and I would watch Beethoven and stuff like that and walk around the house with I had a vacuum that I thought was a microphone. And I'd stand around and I'd sing into it playing my ukulele, and probably sounded really bad, but yeah, so it's always kind of been something that I've definitely longed for and had a passion for. Absolutely.
That's really cool. Once you discovered you had talent and liked music, where did you learn the skills required to understand and play music?
So when I started taking it seriously and realized I could make money from it and, really do it for a living and, be able to enjoy it for my entire life, I started producing music. I did production. Around the time I was 11, I started taking it seriously. By the time I was 13, I had produced a song that had gotten over 100,000 streams, and that was when I realized, holy, pardon my French, this could be my living, I could maybe make money from this and do this my whole life. And so I didn't want anything else after that, and I decided to just stay in my room and during COVID. I would be on Zoom, during class, but I'd turn off my camera and I'd just make music the whole time. So I did that for about 2-3 years and got pretty good at producing, and then I realized I wanted to get into live instrumentation. So I started playing the drums more again since I was young, and I started playing a lot of guitar and bass and piano and learning some harmony and theory. And then I started incorporating that into my production. And instead of working for other artists and producing what they want, I started producing for myself. So yeah.
That's really cool.
Thank you.
There are various genres of music: classical music, jazz music, big band, and there's rock and roll. Heavy metal as well. There are so many different kinds of music. Where do you fit in all of this?
It's a great question. I mean, I love to listen to almost anything. I think that you can find good music in every genre and bad music in every genre. For me personally, the things that I think I find the most entertaining and fun and stylistically appropriate for myself would be like alternative rock. I like a lot of shoegaze. I like heavier stuff. I like indie. I mean, yeah, those are the things I play a lot. So I play in a couple, I've played in a couple punk bands, I've played in a couple metal bands, I've played in all that stuff. So I think for me personally, probably alternative rock, grungy type of stuff. But yeah, I mean, I love all of that stuff. A lot of acoustic songwriter stuff as well is definitely something I like to, dive into.
Mm-hmm. What instruments do you play?
So I've been playing the drums since I was 4. That's my primary instrument. And then I play guitar often. So I've played guitar for a couple bands and sang. So I sing a little bit. I'm not the best singer or guitar player. I play a lot of bass as well. And I know, the stuff you kind of need to know to get around a piano, but nothing other than that. If you consider a computer an instrument, then I can do that a little bit also. But yeah, that's about it.
And what instrument do you enjoy playing the most?
The drums.
The drums.
I mean, there's incredible aspects in all of the instruments, like it's really fun to be a frontman and play guitar and sing and, write your own stuff and kind of be at the front. But drumming, there's just something about the physicality and the energy behind it that's always roped me in. Like, I remember, I actually got reminded the other day at prom, a kid told me he remembered I think her name was Miss York, I could be wrong, but she was our music teacher in elementary school, like when we were 5 or something, or 7, 8, I don't know. We were young. And she had a bunch of like congas and bongos and stuff in her room. And I always begged her to let me do a drum solo for the class. And once a month or however often, she'd let me do it. And I had totally forgotten about it. And I was reminded like last week, and I was like, that's pretty dope. I've always just wanted to, bang on drums in front of people. So definitely has a line to be true.
Mm-hmm. And tell us about your music career here at Holliston High School, because you were in a band called Detentions as well.
Yeah, so outside of my extracurricular stuff, within the school, we've been very lucky to have Doug Calais as, a figure of importance here. And he has a room, room 333, the Jam Room, the Jam Cafe. And you go in, they serve tea, coffee, we have concerts, and you play music. So whether you do it outside of school or only inside of school, it's a really great opportunity. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I've loved every second of it. I think that's gotten me very far, having him in my life the past 4 years and getting that experience of playing gigs via that as well is very nice. There's a certain charm to that,
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot more of an intimate setting. Mm-hmm. It's cool.
What about the class Songwriters to Save the World? In this class, you wrote with fellow classmates protest songs, and then you performed them to invited guests. Would you recommend this class to others?
If I could have taken one class for every block for the entirety of my high school and still racked up all the credits to graduate, it would be that class. I mean, same guy, Doug Calais, he ran that class. And last year I don't think it ran, but this year it did. And I think everyone should apply for that class if they can, whether you want to do music or not. It's a very eye-opening experience, and you get to really connect with people that otherwise you would never connect with. Yeah, it's good. It's a great class.
You wrote the song Tomorrow. Can you tell us a little bit more about this song?
Dear Tomorrow, I wrote that in that class, yeah. That song, so the whole class is kind of about, like protestful stuff, and to write in terms of something that maybe upsets you or angers you or something that you have an emotional connection to, which I think you should always write about. So it makes a song good, it's a story. And Dear Tomorrow is a song that I wrote about climate change. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to be vocal and say just climate change as lyrics, that's not fun. I want to make people think about it and try to figure out what I'm talking about. And so that song is, as I said, I'm from California. And a lot of my family and people out there got affected by the fires that happened in October. And a lot of, things that I have connections to and my family members do are gone now. Mm-hmm. And so I wrote that song in terms of, kind of being protestful against climate change and, all that stuff, fracking, all that bad stuff. So yeah, that's what that song's about. Pollution.
And could you tell us a little bit more about the writing process and how you get yourself into that writing zone?
Sure. What I like to do is, sing a melody in my head. Sometimes it comes to you. Sometimes you need to be alone in a room for a while and think about it. Mm-hmm. And then once it comes to you, it's authentic, If you hear it internally, now you have a product and you just need to be able to translate that onto your instrument.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to figure it out, and it's really cool. There are these other alternate tunings you can do in a guitar. So I believe that song is in a tuning called FACGCE, which is not a very common tuning, but it's very fun, and you can definitely do some things that you couldn't do in standard tuning in that tuning. And I had a cool melody, and then I wrote the lyrics that I figured fit on top of that, and you come up with a melody for the lyrics that harmonize with the chords, and eventually you have a full product. You just got to sit there and work with it for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wrote that song pretty briefly, actually.
That's
Maybe one class period. And then, of course, I went over it a couple times, but I really like it. It's a good one.
And now that you're about to graduate, what are your plans after high school?
So, I was supposed to move back to LA and go tour with bands all next year, hopefully around the nation, go do stuff in terms of music and record. But I actually got into Berklee College of Music in Boston, and I couldn't be any happier. I'm fully committed, and so I'll still be here for a while longer, for another 4 years, and then hopefully hit the road. But yeah, I get to hone my skills, comfortably in a safe environment and hang out with a lot of my best friends are going there. So I'm very, very happy about it. I couldn't be any more stoked.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
So now that you're going into college, what do you see yourself doing in the future after college?
I could get a gig during Berklee and maybe not even graduate from there if I'm getting offered enough,
Yeah.
So I really have no clue, but hopefully at this point in my life, I would like to tour and be a session artist. I really want to see the world, from the stage.
Yeah.
So I would like to perform with a band or, by myself or whatever.
Yeah.
Just in good company and, see what the world has to offer and play my music. Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Good luck, and thank you so much for speaking
Thank you so
with
much. I
us.
appreciate that.
You've added so much energy and enthusiasm to our school,
Thank you.
and we will miss you very much.
Thank you. See you guys soon.
We will end the video with a song called Tomorrow, which you've described in the interview for us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Devours thirst for love. The green empowers the rich with shove. Tomorrow, will there be a tomorrow? With peace the trees will whistle loud. The leaves you see fall from above. Tomorrow, will they be here tomorrow? My sorrow tomorrow, my sorrow, dear tomorrow. Bright candles always burn hotter. You'd leave from the place that you had lost the feelings new, the shaking itch. You've lost your place, burned into sticks, a goner. It feels if you forgot her. My sorrow, dear tomorrow. My sorrow, dear tomorrow. My sorrow, dear tomorrow. My sorrow, dear tomorrow. Why'd you ever tell yourself that your life is imperfect? Big house, nice grass, pretty garden. you won't be happy for certain. Sorrow tomorrow, my sorrow, dear tomorrow, my sorrow tomorrow, my sorrow, dear tomorrow. Yeah, that's about it. Gracias, gracias.
That song was tremendous, Dear Tomorrow. I could feel the emotion as he sang the lyrics and played the guitar. We hope all is going well at Berkeley for Robert. Soon we will see his name written big in bright lights. Thank you, Robert. Finally, we'll end the show with a segment that we have called Art in Action. The segment features one of the most popular classes here at Holliston High, ceramics. A lot of students enjoy taking this class. It is taught by Mr. Blood. Ceramics is a hands-on class. The action of working the clay offers so many benefits for the mind and the body. Max, one of the ceramic students, filmed Mr. Blood as he explains the how-tos of using clay coils to make a jug. Every class is different and every clay project is unique, like the individual. Take it away, Mr. Blood.
Coiling is a very ancient process that was used to build something fairly quickly. And if you think of ancient cultures, urns, large pots, storage vessels, large storage vessels that maybe had grain in them or things of such. Peoples were able to coil and smooth these things fairly quickly, okay? The coiling method, because we're using these sort of spiraled coils that stack on each other, is actually a very strong method as well. So in terms of function, they could build large things that could store material quickly, but they also were sturdy because of the way that they made them, okay? Again, I have several examples here set aside, and we're going to explain a couple different ways to go about this, all right? So first thing you'll need, well, besides the vision, okay, the way I start this is I threw a slab, rolled it out, traced a circle and cut it. This is my base. How thick is my slab here? If I take a ruler, we're about 3/8 of an inch thick, okay? And when you're rolling your coils, you can see that the size of these coils is slightly thicker than like a pencil or a pen. All right. To show you how I go about coiling, right? Take some really soft clay, okay? And I start by kind of squeezing it into a very vague cylinder. Use my fingers, start in the middle, add a little pressure, and move from the middle outward, okay? Now I'm paying attention to what's happening to this coil, and you should too. And once I get my coil, then I can begin, all right? And we're gonna use a couple different types of pinches, okay, in addition to the coils, all right, to help secure this to the base, all right? Okay, and I can go back and smooth those marks that my thumb is leaving a little bit later in the process, okay? So once this is fully fully fused. Okay. Okay. And then I can take my finger. Again, I always support the wall from the outside so that I don't ruin the shape. Okay. So I don't have a wall that's doing this. All right. Now, from there, okay, I'm going to use a flattening pinch, so you can see that I'm going around with my thumb and my forefinger, and I'm kind of squeezing that coil a little bit flatter. It's going to give it some height. What does smoothing this inside allow me to do in the end? If I glaze the inside that's smooth, it will hold liquid. So if I repeated this process for, several coils, right, I would end up with something like that, right? You have the look of the coil still there. I'm not smoothing. So what are these other ones doing here? You can also choose to smooth the sides as you go. These were both built from coiling, okay? If you're gonna do that, if you like the look of a smooth side, okay, and not so much the coil, then you would just, as you go, you'd be smoothing with a scraper, okay? Of course, there is some extra attention that has to be placed on, is my form changing? So if you're going to build with rings, so individual rings, those rings need to be bigger. So that will, if they gradually get bigger, then it will go out. And on the other side of that, the opposite, if you want it to go back in, they have to be smaller. Okay. If you're using a long coil like I am, what you're going to do is you're going to set the next coil a little bit further towards the edge. Okay. And then I would coil a few like that, so you get that outer movement. You want it to go back in. Now we pull those each coil that's next a little bit closer to the inside. Something that I do to help ensure that these are going to stay together, these coils, is I will actually use one of our rubber tip tools. Go over here, okay, like this, with a little bit of water. And I'll go right in the seam on the outside, and I'll smooth this in. If you were to pick up this one, you'll notice that all of the seams of these coils have been smoothed over, and that's what I did. Okay, and so this glazed on the inside and smoothed and glazed on the outside could hold water as well, and liquid. So it could be a base of some sort. Okay, just to remind you that there's a lot of sort of freedom of choice here. You can coil and leave coils. Okay. You can coil and smooth. You can actually see that this texture was added later on, but smooth the coils like this. Or you can find a form to build on and wrap those in a more sort of creative way. Okay? All right. Thank you.
We would like to thank Max for filming and Mr. Blood for allowing us to showcase this class. That was a great show. Art is one of those things that builds bridges, and we all need bridges so we all can get to the other side. In this season of giving thanks, try to be the bridge that gets someone to the other side. Thank you for watching our show. This is Harsanka Bindra signing off.